Superbrands is the world's most significant marketing award given to companies in 86 countries for building outstanding brand equity. A two-stage selection process involves scoring by thousands of consumers and an independent council of eminent personalities from various sectors. Over 135 companies in India use the Superbrand seal to display their superior status. Superbrands now join hands with ET Now to bring you behind-the-scenes stories of some of India's most powerful brands.
Brands that transform numerous lives and put India on the world map. They exemplify business excellence and contribute significantly to the country's growth story. They are India's Superbrands. Hello and welcome to the Superbrands show only on ET Now. On this series, we travel across the length and breadth of India to discover and bring to you some of the most exciting and arduous journeys that India's most powerful brands have undertaken to reach to the top. On the show this week, a man whose vision pioneered the private healthcare revolution in India back in the 1980s and transformed India's healthcare sector. And a brand that was amongst the first few to offer insurance solutions when the sector opened up to private players in India 14 years ago. So those are the two exciting super brands that we have on this episode. Let's begin with the first one. Back in the 1980s, one man set out on a mission to transform India's healthcare sector with a simple vision: to provide the best possible services at the most affordable prices. Today, he is known as the father of the private healthcare revolution in India, and his company Apollo Hospitals is a global brand that has treated over 37 million people from over 120 different countries. Here's how Apollo became a super brand. Healthcare, the noblest of all professions and of paramount importance in today's world of rampant disease and infection. One man whose vision defined the course of an entire industry is a man known as the healer. Dr. Prathap Reddy, a cardiologist working in the US, came back to India in the late 1970s. With his experience, he decided to build an institution that provides world-class affordable healthcare to all Indians in India. In 1983, the journey began with a 150-bed hospital in Chennai, a flagship for the corporate hospital model.
I came back to India and all that I knew was cardiology. So I started, there was a nursing home available, so I started as a cardiology hospital in then Madras. But in 1979, a 38-year-old man got admitted on December 8, 1979 and died the next morning. I thought to myself, how many more are going to lose their dear ones? Then why should they? If Indian doctors, Indian scientists, Indian engineers are far excellent overseas, why can't we bring and build that talent back home?
When he started Apollo in the 1980s, he started. I believe that soon after there were, many hospitals that have started. It has really changed the whole environment of healthcare delivery. And he did that, it was not just by creating infrastructure and bringing capital. The hardest is actually to bring knowledge back to the country.
Inspired by their father's zeal, the second generation was also quick to participate in his vision of affordable and competent healthcare for all. The four Reddy sisters, Preeta, Sunita, Sangeeta and Shobhana, worked tirelessly to contribute to Apollo's success, and they form an integral part of the Apollo top management today.
I suppose as a 20-year-old, when he first thought of Apollo as a corporate hospital, there was, to many it seemed like just a dream, and for many it was just a vision. To actually be part of making it a reality was immensely satisfying.
An organization is built on the strength of its people. For a super brand like Apollo, they are the best in the business. Pioneering several specialties and technologies, Apollo's team of doctors and surgeons has always been pushing the envelope right since inception in 1983.
I think in terms of the brand, it's something that's been built up over 30 years. Just in terms of the heart cardiothoracic, which is the heart and lung surgical unit, of which I'm part of for the last 12 years, they have started doing coronary surgery way back in 1983. It's really one of the first units in the country to be doing that. And with a backlog of over 45,000 patients that they've operated on, they already have a huge groundswell of support from all patients.
Comprehensive health checkups are essential for any doctor to make an accurate diagnosis. Dr. Reddy brought such programs into the Indian arena, even encouraging reforms for improved access to health checks. The concept of preventive healthcare or prevention before cure has not only saved many lives but also promoted a healthier, happier and stress-free lifestyle for millions of Indians.
Father actually started this preventive healthcare program 30 years ago. He started it as a master health checkup and there was no one in India who was doing it at that time.
I'm very happy that Apollo treated 40 million people. But you know what? I'm much more happier to say that we have done 9 million preventive health checks. That means for these 9 million people, we have made a difference in their health.
In keeping with the theme of healthy living and taking care of oneself, Apollo Hospitals launched the Billion Hearts Beating campaign. Prompting young Indians to take 5 simple steps towards a healthy heart, Billion Hearts Beating took the shape of a movement across social media, electronic media and on-ground events, with personalities from all walks of life standing in support.
Take care of your heart. It's your best friend.
Billion Hearts Beating is really something that Shobna has done. It was also the family's desire, chairman's desire, to reach out to all of India. And he said, I can't build hospitals for every one of them, but I can spread this message of staying healthy. And I think Shobna took it upon herself to really work with different agencies, from schools to the police to the military, with banks, to see how far she could actually take that concept.
Technology plays a vital role in transforming healthcare, and Apollo Hospitals has been at the forefront, setting new benchmarks by ushering in the latest advanced technology. Keeping better diagnosis and improved clinical results at the heart of its initiatives, Apollo introduced the CyberKnife robotic radiosurgery system that treats tumors non-invasively. It was also the first in India to introduce the 320 slice CT scanner that provides a 3-dimensional image of any organ.
Very quickly, people learned and heard that Apollo Hospital for the first time have brought a level as good or better than the best centers anywhere in the world. Today, we have not only have people from all over India, but I think what we have is people from more than 125 countries, because they have heard, they have experienced the type of care that is being given, and they have also found that this is better than the best care in the world, and still the cost is less than 10%.
I came for treatment of my sister, my elder sister. He had a bad hip injury, so we came here for hip replacement. Services are very good. In short, I can say that they are saving lives of many people in the world.
Beyond state-of-the-art equipment, Apollo has shown exemplary initiative in introducing programs that were the need of the hour. From conducting India's first successful liver transplant in 1998 to performing 1,456 liver and kidney transplants last year alone, Apollo's is a tale of medical excellence with a human touch.
Over these last 4 or 5 years, we have emerged as one of the top 2 or 3 transplant programs in the country, both in terms of numbers as well as in terms of successes. And we are also the largest cadaver transplant program in the country. We are also the only sort of comprehensive program which does living donors just as well as cadaver donors, which does pediatrics just as well as elderly.
Apollo has opened its arms to medical tourists and brought world-class tertiary care to India. Today, it also focuses its energies on inclusive programs within local communities to promote awareness of healthy living. Through outreach initiatives like Save a Child's Heart or Sachi, low-cost reach hospitals and IT breakthroughs like telemedicine and M-Health, Apollo is moving towards containing costs and improving access to healthcare for all.
We realized that people were traveling from all parts of India to come to Apollo. They still do. So we created the reach model, which was really something that it was created at half the cost of what you would do in entire one city.
I think Apollo has been a pioneer in various ways. First at ensuring global level delivery of healthcare, and now making that level of quality healthcare available at a much lower cost and in a much larger number of centers across the country.
The future of the nation lies in the hands of its children. Protecting them and caring for their well-being, Apollo set up a state-of-the-art pediatric hospital dedicated to all kinds of diseases ailing these little ones. International standards of care and technology mean doctors can detect and possibly treat the rarest of disorders, no matter how far the boundaries have to be pushed.
We were just discussing the case of this little baby who has a very rare condition called Griscelli syndrome. And the baby was born in Malaysia to parents who are of Tamil origin. And this baby's story really made us realize that the world is a small place, because there is a Malaysian child who comes to Chennai for transplant, and some mother somewhere in the US had donated the umbilical cord blood stem cells during delivery, and they were life-saving for this child.
With 8 internationally accredited hospitals, 8,500 beds across its 51 facilities, 1,500 pharmacies and one of the most specialized medical teams in the world, Dr. Prathap Reddy's Apollo Hospitals spelt unparalleled transformation in healthcare. A super brand in the true sense, Apollo's formidable position stems from the relationship of trust that millions have experienced in its care. And with a model of excellence based on expertise, experience and empathy, Apollo Hospitals continues to breathe life into the destinies of many more. So that was Apollo Hospitals. It has the #1 solid organ transplant program in the world today. Let's take a short break right now. Coming up on the other side, an insurance brand that always believes in supplying accurate knowledge to its consumers and living up to all the promises that it makes. You're watching the Superbrands show only on ET Now. Welcome back to the Superbrands show only on ET Now, the series that traces the journeys of India's most powerful brands. At the turn of the millennium, when India's insurance sector opened doors to private players, Max Life Insurance, then known as Max New York Life Insurance, was amongst the first ones to offer some innovative products. In a sector that's often clouded by mis-selling, this company has gained the trust of its consumers by offering a diverse range of products and ensuring hassle-free claim settlements. Take a look. Insurance is a sector of numerous choices today, a sector of high hopes with bouquets of schemes, friendly sales agents and many investment growth promises. But when it comes to protecting your loved ones, the choice is trickier than your usual consumer decisions. For years, though, life insurance in India was synonymous with the state-run Life Insurance Corporation, or LIC. Until in the August of 2000, the sector was opened up for private players, paving the way for a super brand in the making called Max Life Insurance.
The scenario then was one of joyful entry, one that had been long awaited because the sector had been in discussion to bring in private enterprise and also foreign enterprise into the life insurance game. And as it happened, of course, there was a lot of expectation of newness, of innovation, of growth.
Wahi company, wahi log.
Max Life Insurance, then a joint venture with New York Life of the US, was determined to break the mold of how insurance was looked upon in India. The task was not only to break away from the incumbent LIC, but also create a unique image in the midst of its new competition in the private sector.
Our differentiation to our mind would have come and has come from truly being customer-centric. We rely on research. We also do a lot of insighting, which is done by members of our teams, ourselves, meeting up with a few prospects as well as existing customers. Could be ours, could be other life insurance customers. And trying to really help them articulate as to what is the purpose of life insurance, why do they buy, some of those things, what do they worry about the most.
Focusing on the valuable insights gained from customer research, Max Life decided to walk its talk by implementing service practices that set new benchmarks in the insurance industry. From a sales push approach, Max became one to propagate an idea of need-based selling.
Yes, sir. The urban markets have been getting very competitive. So it has actually led to a whole round of product level innovation and service innovations in the industry. And Max, I think, has been at the forefront.
We were so sure of our sales process, we actually came up with what we used to call a 10-day free look period. The regulator liked this concept so much, they made it an industry standard, and now the whole industry has a 15-day free look.
The way we defined the industry was not as an insurance industry but as a life industry. Okay, so that changed the perspective. The minute you look at the industry as an insurance industry, you look at it with a lens of a financial product. But when you look at the industry as a life industry, you look at that industry with a human perspective, you know.
The period of 2004 to 2008 heralded high growth. Not only was the economy rejoicing, the ordinary Indian was also adopting a more globalized lifestyle. Money was no longer just a commodity to get by, but became a means to fulfill desires. Leveraging this sentiment, Max Life placed its bet on advertising campaigns, encapsulating the aspirations of the modern Indian. Max Life thus presented a host of advertisements with one simple theme, Karo Zyada Ka Irada, or aspire for much more. And the company tied this with segments across the demographic board.
This category is as much about protection as much as it is about savings and investments. And these products, which are the savings and investment oriented products, are more towards fulfilling the long-term aspirations and goals and needs of people in their lives. So we looked at a proposition like Karo Zyada Ka Irada, which says what stops you from going for more, without actually talking about the financial aspect of what going for more means, you know.
हमारी monthly retirement income मेरे बाद सारी की सारी तुम्हारी.
The tagline manifested itself in various avatars, touching base with new parents, young professionals and retired couples alike.
बोलो किसके बेटे हो? हाँ?
मल्होत्रा अंकल का.
Leveraging its forte of effective advertising, Max Life created some memorable characters in the process of promoting products like its online term plan, retirement plans and many others.
ख्वाहिशों के बिना जिंदगी क्या? Max New York Life Insurance. करो ज़्यादा का इरादा.
We looked at a proposition like Karo Zyada Ka Irada, and all the campaigns that we did under that brand thought, be it child campaign like Czechoslovakia, be it retirement campaign, or many other tactical campaigns that we did at that point in time, all under that same umbrella, really did resonate with the market sentiment at that point in time.
In the aftermath of the 2008 global financial meltdown, insurance as a sector was plagued with a bad reputation. that of mis-selling and fraudulent claims. To combat this bugbear, Max Life initiated rigorous training programs that taught the best sales practices. As a routine, every morning agent advisors would be put through various sessions to be instilled with one very clear message: do the right thing. Once the sales force was ready, Max Life stepped ahead confidently, staking a bold claim with its memorable ad campaign of Aapke Sache Advisor or your most trusted advisors.
हमारे एजेंट से हमेशा आपके बारे में सोचा, इसीलिए वो हैं आपके सच्चे एडवाइजर्स.
The biggest challenge with, doing these kind of what you call the high moral ground propositions is how do you make it interesting rather than make it preachy. We wanted to bring out that this is your own inner voice. Okay, it's your own inner conscience that's trying to prompt you to actually take these little bit of shortcuts here and there.
Even though that there could be a temptation for the agent to make a false promise or to do a false selling, that's not the way a Max India agent behaves. Therefore, if you see the campaign, basically we've dramatized it by that there's a devilish side in every human being. It's the guy who sort of goads you into doing the wrong thing. And our agent is so confident in what he is doing and so committed to what he is doing, he disregards the advice, or the wrong advice I can say, of the devil inside him.
बताना जरूरी है सर, इससे क्लेम लेते वक्त आपको कोई परेशानी नहीं होगी.
हमारे एजेंट से हमेशा आपके बारे में सोचा, इसीलिए वो हैं आपके सच्चे एडवाइजर्स.
Making promises that must be fulfilled and never stopping in its customer satisfaction endeavors, Max Life Insurance set itself to work on back-end innovations that could keep pace with the changing world. Discipline, skilling and technology became the pillars of a new work system to be followed to the T.
NWS, as a project is called, New Work System, is our attempt to kind of front-end enable our sales force with a tablet device to improve the conversation quality and help our customers be empowered with the relevant information that they need to have to make good decisions about their life insurance requirements and the life insurance product that they should buy. So this is really a way in which we have created a journey through which if a customer were to go through, they would be able to figure out for themselves, what's their need and what's best suited for them. And obviously the agent is also enabled in helping the customer make the right choice.
Replacing bulky brochures and eliminating piles of cumbersome paperwork, the tablet application developed by Max Life Insurance is a first in the insurance industry. Integrating Max Life's mandated concepts of fact-finding, need-based selling and customized projections, the app boasts of several other features that put consumers at ease. Who is your agent? What is the background of the company? What is the perfect product for your needs? All these questions are deftly answered and sent to you by email there and then.
I have been operating with the tab for the last 9 months, right from the inception since June of 2013. I think it's given me a much more professional look. When I walk in to a customer, smartly introduce myself, give my card, and I have to work through a tablet only. I'm not carrying any leaflets with me. If I have to give any leaflet or any brochure over the period of my discussion, it's very simple. The tab provides for that. You can just pull out the brochure, present it to the customer and mail it as well.
I am fairly satisfied because he has carefully listened to my needs, and it is not like any other insurance agent where they come with a predetermined plan to sell you a product. But here there is a range of products, and as per your need they will either modify one existing product or they will figure out what is best suited for you.
Sanju?
मुसीबतें बता के नहीं आती.
Allaying the fears facing the insurance sector was one thing. Moving ahead, Max Life looked at specific challenges faced by consumers during the application and claims process. Day-to-day hassles like filing paperwork and changing addresses were some such issues, and Max took these head-on, assuring existing and prospective customers that the company was in for the long haul.
We have to evolve the proposition of honesty. Okay? Otherwise, it would become like a blind spot. Then we are not keeping pace with time. We are not listening to the consumer. The biggest insight that we got was, okay, now these people are filling up the forms and they are doing risk profiler, they are doing fact finder and stuff like that. However, once the sale is made, they disappear. So that's when we said that let's evolve and take the proposition forward into saying that our relationship, an honest relationship, doesn't end with sale, but it begins after the sale is made.
Yes, sir. It's my duty.
पॉलिसी देने के बाद हमारा रिश्ता खत्म नहीं, शुरू होता है.
With 30 lakh customers on its books, 40,000 agents and presence in 280 offices across the country, the numbers draw an impressive picture for Max Life Insurance. What places it at the top of the industry in customer satisfaction, though, is the spirit of its people. Services and products designed to keep customers at the center of all action make Max Life Insurance truly their partner for life.
In life's ups and downs, we help you bounce back. Max for life.
That was Max Life Insurance, the company with the second largest social media presence amongst life insurance providers in India. With that, we come to the end of this episode of the Superbrands show. But don't forget to join us again next week, because we'll be back with 2 more Superbrands and the stories of their ambition, perseverance and business excellence. Till then, it's goodbye.